Hey y'all, this is Reatha.
Hey, this is Deandra, and you are now listening to.
Coffee, Heels, and Conversation podcast.
So grab your coffee and listen in. Hey, y'all, it's Deandra,
Hey, it's Reatha.
and welcome back to another episode. We appreciate y'all listening to the pod, tuning in either on YouTube or any streaming platform. We appreciate y'all. We are back for another episode. But before we get into it, of course, we gotta do our, take care of the church
Okay.
announcements. What are you drinking today, Reatha?
So I'm giving that Nescafe another try. Again, it's actually good this time.
Okay.
Maybe I had to doctor it up a bit for it to be good because it was not the last time.
Okay.
So
You so funny. I did another iced coffee. This time I made my own iced coffee. I had to, get on with that French vanilla coffee from Walmart, and then the oat milk creamer again. Of course, the staple is the caramel syrup. Put that in there. And now we got us a nice little iced coffee. Iced coffee at home takes a lot more ice than I really be prepared for, you know? So
I was thinking about doing iced coffee, so I'm glad I know that because now I'm like prepared.
yes, because obviously the coffee is like super hot, obviously. So then you put like the initial ice cubes in there to cool it off, but then you need more to actually make it an iced coffee, which also ends up meaning that you need more of whatever flavor thing you're using too.
Yeah, because it's
Because
going
obviously
to
then you're gonna end up with watery iced
watery
coffee.
cold
And
coffee.
yeah, that's
Nobody
nasty.
wants that.
We don't like that. So yeah. It takes a little bit more work, but at the end, it's worth it on some days,
Just
Just some days, not all the time. Um, so for this episode, we will be talking about friends. How many of us have them? Friends. When weekends depends on friends. Anyways, we're gonna be talking about friends. So um I think that I this is on my mind to say, I realized as I got older that you have friends for like every season of your life.
that's
And
real.
sometimes those friendships will carry on throughout your life, but
Hmm.
sometimes the friendships end when the season ends. Like,
That's
I'm
real.
low key jealous of people who have, like, now I'm not talking about like associates, I'm talking about best friends from middle school or like great. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm low key a hater. Like, dang, I wish I
Oh,
had that. Like, that's so nice. Oh, man. But I realized I have forever friends from college. So, even though I kind of like, I'm a low key. This is a place in my heart that would love to have had one of those elementary school friends. I have
yeah.
some college friends, and that's that's all I really need in my life.
Yeah.
And then I have friends that I've met in adulthood that I'm like, why didn't I meet you sooner?
Yeah.
Why why am I
Yeah.
just
That's
now meeting you? Why are we
for
just
real
now connecting?
happening.
So annoying. Then I have friends that I have never met in person, i.e., Reatha. Never met her in person. Then I got um another close friend, Charmaine in this piece.
That's
Have
my
met
girl
her in
too.
person.
Hey.
Like this friend that I'm like, I don't even know what you look like in front of my face, but you are my friend. Like, us meeting can't make us any closer.
Yeah.
So I think that's the crazy part about friendship. Yeah. Rita, what you gotta say?
No, I feel you. I have friends. For me, I have friends that I've known from like church
Mm-hmm. Oh
that
yeah,
have
church
carried
friends.
over.
Yes.
But it's interesting because there are people that I literally grew up from a baby or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that like because my concept of friendship it has changed as I become an adult. Because my parents would be like, "Girl, everybody ain't your friend." I'm like, "Oh, they're my friend," whatever. And then I grew up and I'm like, "Nah." And so like, there are some people that I think that they might consider me a friend, but I don't consider them my friends because we ain't like literally, we're not really doing life together. And it's funny
Oh,
because I thought that certain people, oh, like I would be their friend, we would be friends forever. And then you hit
yeah,
adulthood and it's like you go your separate, like they go off to college and you're still there
right,
at the church, and it's like it changes things. But
right.
I do have friends that kind of came along later at church that I still like literally we do life together. We have a group chat where we be like, pray for me because like I literally was like, pray for me because I'm about to walk off this job today.
Right, right.
Them people. And then quarantine really just blew my mind because
Yes,
that's how we connected. And
yes.
so, and then I have people from like the book club that I've connected with. So it's just like some of them I have met, others I haven't met in person, but it's just like, oh, that's
Mm,
my girl. Like you can't tell
yeah,
me that that's not my friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's
right.
just like it's interesting how it happens. And then I've
Mm,
had the friends that I actually like carried over into adulthood a little bit, but that I thought was gonna like last, and then
yeah,
that ain't no more. And I'm like, okay, like it's like I feel like adulthood brings you a lot of transitions when it comes to friendship. Like
yeah.
I think sometimes it's like your values change.
Mm,
Sometimes people are doing things and you're just like, what are you doing? And
right,
you're like, okay, I can't associate because I don't know what you doing. And then there's
right,
then there are the coworkers that turn into friends, but that's like a little like it can be a thin line
right.
because there's some people that I'm like, oh yeah, I know like when or if whatever I go to the next job, I'm gonna still keep in touch with this person. There's other people that I'm like, yeah, after this job.
Right. Right.
But I do have friends like we haven't like talked in a while, but I do have friends like from one of my previous jobs that like we still cool. Like
Yeah.
those are still my girls. If they were to call me, say, "Hey, Rika, let's go," I'm like, "Where we going? Let's go."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think I've definitely noticed that I have friends that's like we are like this, like intertwined, like at the hip, but we don't talk every day. But
Yeah.
when we do talk, we talk for hours.
Hmm.
Like one of my friends right now, I can call her today and we'll be on the phone for a good like the rest of the night. Like
Girl.
that's it. The rest, like I already know. Nobody else called me. Nobody else texted me. I will not answer because I'm on the phone with her. Like for
Yeah.
their next 4 hours, 5 hours. You know what I mean? But then I have friends
Yeah.
that I talk to every day. But still, like we talk all the time, or we talk, intimately. I have literally met the majority of my best friends. I met them in college.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then I transferred. So I was at one school first, and I met my close best friends. Met them at the first college. Then I met another group of friends at the second college that I went to, and then we are all like still friends. And I'm like, I can't imagine like not going to that college and meeting them, or like
Yeah.
not because I was like, dang, like I've heard people say that you do meet your like forever best friends or your forever friends in college. And I was like, nah, I'm not. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to get an education. Um, and then like, no, I really left with a bunch of friends. And some of my, like I said, some of my closest friends. But I also realized now I don't know if this is for you, but for me, there are certain friends that see you in certain lights. Like there's some friends who
Mhm.
see the full ratchet you,
Yes.
and then there's some friends that just be like, they see the calm you, so they've never seen you get too hype. They, just seen you in chill mode. Then there's some friends who see like every side, the ratchet, the chill mode, the ma'am,
Everything.
are you
Yeah.
crazy? Are you out of your mind? Um, and then you know what I mean? So I never noticed that either. Like there's some friends that I'm just like, oh no, like that's my girl, but I'm not going to turn up. Like she can't, her heart can't take that. Like I'm not going to be ratchet
Yeah. I'm
because
not gonna get
her
that to
heart,
him.
her heart, she going to pass. I can't do that to her. You know what I mean? So I think that it's funny. Like not that you, and I hope that doesn't come up as being fake or disingenuine
No,
by
there's
being
just
that
different
way.
sides. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like even though you're still friends, they don't see like
Yeah.
the crazy part of you. If
No,
yeah.
I relate to that because I have like my inner circle and they know every part,
Right.
every single part of me. And then I have this other circle that's like a little newer that they're starting to see like every part of me, whatever. But then like my other friends, they don't necessarily see, but those are my people. Like
Yeah.
those are still my people. It's just there are certain people that you literally, I feel like with friendships, there's some people like you legitimately do life with that
Yeah.
like okay, me and one of my girls, like we don't talk, like none of us really talk every day, but we will send each other memes on IG all day
Right.
and stuff like that. And so it's just like, and we just like I said, one of them we go to the same church right now, whatever. So there's a few that like we may not talk every day, but it's like when we together, we together. Like one
Right.
of my girls, and I feel bad because like I feel so bad. I really need some, and I'm not a phone person. I don't be calling people. I really need to get better with that. But one of my friends, I know that when I talk to this particular friend, we're gonna be on the phone for 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
Like just talking, catching up, sharing stuff, whatever.
Right.
And so like I do have friends like that too. But yeah, I think that it's not fakeness. It's just like sometimes they haven't been in situations to see you a certain way. And then there's
Mhm.
some times where people like you feel not that you don't feel safe with them, but you feel safer with these other people that you really bear your whole entire soul.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a blessing to have that because like people don't be having that. And I don't understand because I'm an only child. So it's like my friendships are important to me. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like I may not call because I'm on the phone all day at work, whatever. But it's like at some point I'm hitting them up or like I'm texting or
Mhm.
Instagram, whatever. But some people don't have that. And that's the thing that like I feel bad for those people that don't have like real authentic like friendships because it's like it's about them being authentic too.
Right.
Because like there's people that have hella friends and they know all these people, but like who really are your core people, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. So, question: what type of friend are you? You said you don't talk on the phone a lot, which doesn't really go into your friendship qualities at all. But just
Yeah.
like, what do you know? What type of friend you are, and how can you be a better friend?
I'm honestly not sure. I wish we should have had our friends on here this season. I mean,
Can
I
I have
think
our
I'm
friends
just playing.
on?
I honestly think I am a pretty cool friend. Like I think I am like because my thing is I want people to be and I think that's why I love Angel so much and I like identify with her because I'm like I want people to be completely who they are when they're
Mhm.
around me.
Right.
Whatever. So I really try not to judge people. I try not to like, you know, hate on people. And like I've had to grow to that point because I wasn't always that way. I was very, very,
Right.
very judgmental, when I was younger, because we can talk about the church thing again. That's part of why. But like, I feel like I'm a good friend. People know that I'm a good listener. I will
Mhm.
listen, and I would have good things to say. Whatever I do think I'm a person that like is supportive and is a once. This is my thing. When I ride for you, I ride for you.
Mhm.
I'm super loyal and dependable. So it's like if you break that, that's on you.
Right.
Because I'm super mad loyal.
Yeah.
I think that's the kind of friend I am. How I can be a better friend, I think, is probably reaching out a little bit more.
Mhm.
Maybe not a phone call thing, but at least like checking in, more than just like doing IG stuff, but like actually like checking in, which I kind of do, but I definitely could do that more.
Right.
Because I'll think about my friends like a lot. I'm like, oh, whatever. But it's like, okay, let them know that you're thinking about them. Say hi, say I love
Right.
you. Like, so
Yeah.
I try to do stuff like that, but I can definitely do more. Um, and yeah, I think that's one of the ways that I feel like I can grow as a friend.
I like that. I think I'm a good friend. I'm definitely a protective friend. So
Oh, that's
like
me too.
I there's not much. Okay, so a lot of my friends know if something has happened, and you inform me of that, I want to go talk to that person that has caused this to happen. I would like to have a
Mhm.
conversation. It don't gotta be nothing crazy. I should talk. Find out from the other person's perspective what happened. Was you
Mhm.
tripping? Was you on drugs? I need to know. Because
Yeah.
why is my friend hurt because of you? So I'm that friend, and I actually, because of being that way, I have lost a friend
Oh
who
wow.
I guess didn't really know how to take that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh yeah, no, can't do that. And I was like, first of all, I was just trying to help you out, but okay, cool. I guess we not cool no more. So that type of friend does not work for everybody. I didn't know that. I learned that, but I didn't know that. So I'm protective, and I guess some people would, I guess, say I'm too protective over people. I will check on people. If I think about you, I'm going to text you. I'm going to call you. Definitely loyal, like I said before, very protective. But I feel like I could be better because I feel like I can check on people a little bit more and a little bit more like thoroughly, like just and not just saying like, oh, how are you? Which is nice, but then they say good, it's like maybe like investigate a little bit more because there might be a reason why they're on my mind. Like maybe they're not just good and they're just saying good because they feel like I don't want to know. I'm just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good to hear that. Bye. So kind of like maybe investigate a little bit more and maybe not be so ready to like jump on other people that had hurt them because people be
That's
out here
hard, yeah.
forgiving.
That's hard.
Okay. They
Can't be
be out
hurting
here
my friends
forgiving
out here.
people. And so they're over it. They have forgiving this person. And I'm like, nah, we don't like them. And they're like, no, we do. Like, we good. And I'm not good with that person now. Like, I'm still not good. You good with them. Y'all, they back in your life. They can't talk to me. So I need to be better with that because I don't want people to be like, oh, she just be out here not liking you people. So I need to be better with, I guess, getting over something with the other person. Like when they're over it, I should be over it too. I don't have that quality yet. So if you are thinking about being my friend, just keep that in mind. I don't really have that quality yet. I'm working on it, but yeah, I don't.
So no, I feel it because like oh my gosh. So it's so funny. Like I've had some stuff happen and there's somebody that I'm like kind of like because they've done stuff to me. And then I'll see my friends talking to them. I'm just like, okay, Teresa, don't be immature and tell them what happened. So then they stop talking to that person. Like I have to fight myself from wanting to do that because that's not mature. And it's like, okay, I have to remind myself because I'm just like, if you knew what she said to me, you wouldn't be talking to her. And it's like, okay, that she can be friends with them. Just because you decided you're done doesn't mean that person can't. So I'm like, I'm having to like be an adult about it and being like, okay, Teresa, stop. Don't even it'll come to my mind. It's like, no, I'm gonna let them be cool with that person. Like, I'm gonna let them be cool with that person. They don't need to know. I don't need to be. So that's the other side of it. It's like there's certain areas that like you have to like grow up in and be like, because I want to be like, girl, she said this and she did this to me. And because I know that if I told them, they'd be like, oh no, I ain't messing with her.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, Doretha, don't do that. Don't. So it's like, oh Jesus, because I'd be wanting to sometimes because trying to be mature and an adult.
Right, exactly. Because we need to be all those things. Have you ever gone through like a friendship ending or friendship breakup, and how did you deal with that? And how did you heal from that? Because I feel like friendship breakups is like really dealing like healing from like real relationship breakup, or
No,
like
it is.
even like almost like mourning a death. Like you not to be like dramatic in that way, but I feel like sometimes depending on who that friend was, it's almost like that.
No, it is like that. It is like it's mourning a death of somebody who is actually still here.
Right.
It's really, really bizarre and crazy. But no, I have. And it's so interesting because it's, people that I thought, or a person that I thought was going to be like, we was going to be rolling, right, until the wheels fell off. And then the wheels didn't fall off, but we ain't right no more. And it's like, I had to make a decision because it was something that I was just like, I can't continue to connect with this person. Even though they kind of like distance themselves, I had to distance myself too. And that was like really hard because it's like, that was like, I didn't really want to, but it was like, I felt like God was calling me, no, you need to distance yourself. And it hurts because like that's, especially if you're as close as we were, like it really hurt. But I do thank God because I feel like it brought me closer to my inner circle that I have now. Because I was friends with them while being friends with her, but I was closer to her but now it's like I'm a lot closer to them than I was.
Mm.
And so that's something that I'm thankful for. And these are the people, like I said, I am literally like all of Doretha with them. But it was definitely difficult to heal from. And, there's some times where it'll still come up and I'm like, oh, I miss this person or I miss that, whatever. But it definitely does hurt. It definitely
Right.
does like, and I thank God because I feel like he's replaced certain people with others, like, like the book club girls, like y'all from the wings and all that stuff like that. Like God's like, okay, this person, these people I took out of your life and I'm giving you these people. And I'm like, oh, thank you, God. And it's like we said, like during the freaking pandemic, like how do you make friends
Right. Right.
during a pandemic? But yeah, it was definitely difficult. Initially, I was really, really sad, really, really bummed about it. But then I don't know, I just kept going and getting deeper in with my inner circle and then like kind of I think I am healed from it. I'm not sure because I haven't really sat with myself about it to really see if I'm healed, but I feel like I'm in a definitely like a good space than I was initially. I was very like bitter about it. I was
Mm.
very upset. Um, but now it's like I'm in a much better place about it.
Right.
And in a way, it sounds weird, but I'm low key thankful that it happened because to be honest, like it wasn't the healthiest friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And I relied on her in ways that I shouldn't have.
Okay.
I leaned on, like, I really should have been leaning more on God than I was, but I was leaning more on her as if she was,
Mm.
you know, and so it also helped me to get closer to God during that time too, because it's like, okay, now that he's taken this friendship, it's like, let me get closer to God and pour out my heart and say share what I'm feeling with him or whatever. But I feel like it wasn't, even though I really, that was my homie and whatever, I don't think it was the healthiest of relationships.
Right.
And so in a way, I'm glad that like in losing that friendship, I found myself
Right.
and I can't replace that relationship with myself. Like
Right.
I feel like I'm more of who I am than I ever have been in my life.
Mm.
And I think that in some ways, that friendship hindered me from being my full self.
Right.
And I was like, I was growing into becoming my full self when I was in that relationship or whatever. But I think, when people depend on you in a certain way, it's like it's hard for you to be sometimes authentic. And so I'm grateful because I found Doretha and that's to me that's irreplaceable.
Right. Yeah. No, it definitely is. It definitely is irreplaceable. I have definitely had friendships that ended. Um, that definitely felt like groundbreaking, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I don't understand. What did I do? How did I cause this to end? I, obviously, at the time, I didn't realize, like, some people just grow apart.
That's true.
Sometimes it is like the fault of the
One or the
both
other.
friends, one or
Yeah.
another. And I think those are hard. The ones that are hard for me to heal from is where there is no closure. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like you don't have like I wasn't say argument, but not argument, but you don't have a conversation that ends the friendship. It just ends.
Yeah.
So like you're kind of left with questions like, okay, so what happened? Like, why are we not talking? And like I said earlier, I'm the friend that will check up on you. So if our friendship has ended, or if I'm just like something happens, so I'll keep being like, hey, how you doing? You all right? And you giving me like dry answers, and I'm just like, okay, so this means that I should probably stop checking on you because you don't want to answer me. Okay, cool. But those are hard because you're like, I thought we were good. Like,
Yeah.
what happened? Or am I like do I now live in oblivion? Like, am I tripping? What happened? Like, if so anyways,
Yeah.
those are hard. I don't know if I've healed from those yet because I haven't. I think that sometimes I go into friendships kind of like tiptoeing because I'm like, I don't want this to end up the same way it happened before. Or
Yeah.
if you feel like a certain action caused somebody to be like, yeah, I'm not messing with you no more, you try to avoid those actions, but then you're
Yeah.
also just avoiding being yourself, so you're just like kind of awkward to be around, or you're kind of like awkward like in
Yeah.
like, and then people are just like, what is wrong with you? So, also trying to like navigate not being your like full self because you're nervous about it. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense. But yeah, so I don't know. Some of my friendships that have ended, like childhood friendships that have ended. And when I say childhood, I mean like friends that I've had since childhood, but now like we were friends in adulthood. At some point, that just kind of like ended. I kind of was easy. I could accept a little bit more because it was kind of like I get it. Like I knew you when I was a child. I'm now an adult. We're just now
Different
completely
people.
different people.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But the friendships that, and then I have had like one friendship that ended like because of an argument, and I feel like there was never closure. And now it's kind of like, that sucks, but okay. Like I guess we just couldn't communicate, and that's kind of the end of that. So yeah, I don't know. I think I've healed from some of them. Some of them I haven't. Some of them I still like wonder what happened or where are we? Like, could we end up being friends again? But then again, it's like, do you want to be their friend again?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be their friend? So yeah, I think it's like for me, it's kind of iffy. It just depends on the situation,
Yeah, that's
who the
real.
person
Yeah.
was, where I was in my life, where they were, all the other good stuff. So,
Yeah, I think for me, some of the ones, especially the ones from like childhood at church, I used to be like, oh, I really want us to be friends, and now I'm just like, it is what it is, y'all. Like, I'm
right,
such a different person, and they don't know me really, and
right,
I don't know them, because especially like, growing up with somebody that's like they have this idea or this picture of you,
right.
and I was a very angry child, just be 100,
Uh-huh.
and I had a bad attitude and all this stuff like that. So unfortunately for some people that's been their experience with me, that's been their view, whatever, but I'm like a completely different person. So it's like if you want to hold on to that, more power to you. I know who I am. There's no shade, there's no love lost,
Right.
whatever. There's nothing like that. There are some people that like from like I think like junior high will hit each other up on Facebook because I was like one of my best friends from junior high and we'll like hit each other on Facebook and be like, "Hey, best friends," or like stuff like that. I'm like, "That's cool. That's cool. That's still like the homie, whatever." But
Right.
other than that, it's just like first with some people, it's just like, "Hey, what's up? All right, let's go." But one of the things I'm realizing is that some friendships I've actually just let end, or that I've just let because I'm the kind of person like I used to be. Like I said, I'm an only child, so like friendships are everything to me
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't always like I said healthy. And so now I'm in like a thank the Lord. I'm in a much healthier space with my friendships and I'm actually able to communicate a lot better than I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I also think that they should be reciprocal because I've run into situations where there's friends that like even though like some friends they know I'm on a phone person, so they'll call me or they'll text me or whatever. And randomly, right? And then there's people that I'll hit up or whatever. And there's people that I'll hit up, and that's when I hear from them. But
Right.
if I don't hit them up, I don't hear anything.
Right.
And I have been through a lot, and I have been in so many situations where I'm just like, I'm not down for the non-reciprocal ones. Like,
Right.
if I only hear from you when I hit you up, are we really even friends? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
because
Yeah.
to me, friendship is a two-way street. It's reciprocal, and so you support me, I support you. And it even with this one person, it always kind of felt like they were trying to be more of a support to me. But when I would try to like be a support to them, it's like they wouldn't give me real like concrete answers. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, if you don't want to share, that's fine. But
Right.
I'm not here to just drain from people. Like I don't want to just drain people. I
Right.
want to be able to be a support to somebody that I'm friends with. So if I find that it's really not reciprocal like that, I just like I drop that pen, I just drop it. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna keep pushing forward because like I find right now I don't have the energy for that. Like I
Right.
think that friendship should be reciprocal. It should be a two-way street. It shouldn't be one sided. Like I don't want to be the one, like I don't want to be the one that always needs support, but I also don't want to be the one that's always giving it. Like I want it to
Right.
be a give and take. Like it's supposed to be a give and take. Like that time that you called me to talk about something that you had been through, and you were like, wait, why are you just okay?
Right.
So it's just like, and even today, like you were like, oh, I'm okay, and I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Right.
To me, that's how it should be. That's to me, that's a healthy friendship where it's like you can sense, like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Or sometimes you just having a good time and you just talking because whatever. But it's like it needs to be reciprocal. So I find myself now also quicker than I used to be to let go of friendships because I'm just like, I'm not gonna and it's the thing of it is it's no bitterness, no hatred, no nothing. Like if they need something, I still got them. But
Mm-hmm.
the friendship piece, I'm just like, we good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think that takes growth too, like to be able to let friendships go and not try to give them CPR. Like that takes a
Girl.
lot of that takes a lot of growth because I know for me, like when I was younger, I would try to revive my friendships. Like I wouldn't let them
Girl.
go. I'm like, no, like we're good. Like we're supposed to be friends forever. So that takes growth to be able to get to that point where you're like, okay, we could be associates. And maybe sometimes you do come full circle with the person. Like you can end up coming back around like, hey,
Mhm.
because wherever you are at that moment is compatible, but sometimes it just is what it is. And I'm
Yeah.
grateful for the friends that I do have, like my new friends, my OG friends, you know what I mean? I'm grateful
Yeah.
for them because they all like have a space in my life and I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm good. Like if I don't gain no more friends, I'm good as long as I got y'all. But like I can't afford to lose any more friends, guys. Don't leave me.
Girl, I feel it.
But I'm good with who I have, and like I'm
Yes.
also but I also like that for the most part, all of my friends are like, how like you can't really get into new friend group because they're like, no, like you're not a part of the clique. Like all our friends will be like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, you got a new friend. Okay, cool. Some of my friends are a little crazy and they be like, you don't got no new friends. And I'm like, all right,
I got
chill
friends like
out.
that.
Chill out.
And sometimes I'm like that myself. Like, excuse me? Who is this
Who's this?
person?
And I'm like,
Sorry.
okay, all right. No, we're
No,
not
I
doing
did not
this.
approve of this.
Right. Like we're not doing this. That's not it. So sometimes I think everybody got that one or two friends like, who this? Okay. All
No, I
right.
have one of my friends like that. Who was this? Who
Okay,
are
the
these people?
bodyguard.
Who
Like,
is that?
all right, chill out. So
We said no new friends. What's happening? Like,
like
life.
chill.
You're still my inner circle. It's okay. It's fine.
So yeah, but I love all my friends.
Yeah, me too. I'm like
So
in love
I'm
with my
grateful for
friends.
them. Yeah. What'd you say?
It's so funny. We'll tell each other, like, I'm like in love with my friends. My friends are so like great. That I'm just like, I'm in love with y'all.
Oh my
Like, I just
god.
love y'all. Like,
Y'all are so funny.
y'all,
But yeah.
they're at the
So
bottom. Like, this is my thing. With some part of my inner circle, we've been through so much crap together.
mhm.
And instead of it, which it very well could have separated us for we ain't cool no more. It literally brought us closer together, and like
Yeah.
our friendship is like thank the Lord is like super solid. So I'm thankful for that. However, I do still pray that they remain that way because I'm just like things could still happen. You know what I'm saying? Even
Right.
though we're older, things can still happen. So I still be praying like, Lord, please just these are the people that you gave me because I prayed for them. So please just let us stay together because
Yeah. I mean, that's
like
how you know. But that's how you know, like when you go through stuff, like that's how you know who it
yes,
is. So
that's real.
y'all have gone through some stuff and now y'all still together. Y'all good. But I mean,
Yeah.
we made it through a panini together. So we good.
Okay, a whole pancake.
A whole pancake. So,
And I think that because I know some people that are like, oh, like I want friends, and it's like sometimes I just feel like you have to ask God and just pray. And also, the Bible does say, show yourself to be friendly too. So
right.
it's also like about how we come off to other people
Mm-hmm.
to show ourselves to be friendly people, whatever. But friendship is I know they say it's not, but I feel like in some ways it is, especially when you're actually like doing life with people. It's like a marriage. Like you
Mm-hmm.
guys have to be able to communicate. You guys have to be able to work through some things that are hard because it's not like I love my friends and we have a great relationship, but it's not perfect. We
Right.
have to sometimes talk to each other like, hey, when you said that, it made me feel this way. Or when you did that, it made
Right.
me feel this way. So it's really about I don't think people realize the work that it takes for authentic friendships.
Mm-hmm.
I know people that like will like look at my friendships like, oh, I want that, but it's like it takes work. Like it's not this. it's not always easy. It's not
Right.
always like pancakes and strawberries. Sometimes it's hard.
Right.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like, it's hard. And so it's like, it's about being willing to work through that because all relationships takes work.
Mm-hmm.
Family, marriage, single, your relationship with yourself when you're single,
Right.
all of it. Like it takes work. Like you have to be able to work through stuff.
Yeah.
That's how, like you said, that's how you know you got real friends if you can work through some stuff
Right.
together.
Exactly. Yeah. Um, I agree. Friendships in adulthood is actually kind of hard though to make new friends.
Girl,
When you're an
shoot.
adult, like I didn't think it was as hard, but it'd be like, dang, like it took me to be in a panini to make new friends. Like I know. So it is also not to negate the fact that it is hard to make friends while you're an adult. Like I've
Yes.
seen so many TikToks where girls will be like, "So I need friends. Like where y'all at? Like hello, can I have a friend, please? Can I buy a friend for 1,000, Alex? Thanks." Like, like so it is also a task. So yeah.
It is very hard as an adult because the thing of it is, and that's why it's even hard to like, you have to be intentional with your friendships as an adult because you going to work every day, you doing your life, and it's like, oh wait, like I need time with my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
you have to be intentional with that, but making them is very. I honestly thought that I was never going to make any more friends, and that the ones that I had or have, should I say, was it. And then God was just like, nah, bro, come here. Here's some other people. I was like, oh, okay, like I was surprised, like even for us to become friends and like other people I'm, on the from the Angel Wings and from the book club, I'm just like, we literally have me and the girls in the book club, we have a group chat, we just be talking. It's like, oh, like I didn't expect this. Like it was an unexpected surprise. Like it was
Right.
very, like I'm very grateful for it. But it was
Yeah.
very unexpected. Like, cause I would see like people in the book club specifically like, oh yeah. And I'm like, how are they friends? Like
Right.
what? And then all of a sudden it's like, now you got to what you got to say, girl. It's like, oh,
Right.
okay. But it is not easy. Like it's real and you literally have to be intentional because like for me, this is the other thing I just thought about this. The other thing I have to work on as a friend is reaching out when I actually need support.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at that. I will talk to them after I'm through it.
Mm-hmm.
But while I'm in it, I'm not calling, I'm not texting. So like I'm working on like, okay, reaching out because I've been going through a lot at work, whatever. And randomly, one of my girls was like, "Oh, we should have brunch or something." I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it or whatever." And so like we had brunch at my place, and it was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I really needed to just be with my friends. I really
Yeah.
needed to just be with the people that I know that ride for me and that I know love me. Like, and it's
Right.
like, dude, Doretha, like all you had to do was say, "Hey," and that's the thing. I had to even be vulnerable in that point because the night before, one of them called me, and I was like, "Girl, you're gonna be mad at me," because my other girl was mad at me. I'm like, yeah, I've been going through it, so I need some sister time. And she goes, yeah, I am mad at you. You should have said something. And I'm like, I know. Like I have to work through like being that open. And even though I'm fully myself with them when I'm around them, it's just like that being that vulnerable and open when I'm
Right.
going through something is hard. And I think it comes from me being an only child because like there ain't nobody that can vouch for what I went through as a kid. It's just me. And
Right.
so like anything that I've been through, it's just been me having to get through it. So it's like learning to also when you're going through it you can reach out. So I
Right.
actually like have been doing better with that, but it's like yeah, it's you have to be willing to be vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and to be open, especially when you are in like a situation where you need support and you need whatever. And then I have like a couple of my girls at work that I'm gonna say this right now because they be listening sometimes. I could not make it through that job without them girls because
Right.
I'd be like, they have to talk me off ledge. It's like, Doretha, don't stop saying stuff. Be quiet.
Right.
So I appreciate my girls at work too.
So we definitely appreciate our friends.
Yes,
Let
all of
us
y'all.
know
Love y'all.
what y'all friendship stories are in the comments and the YouTube comments and
Yes.
podcast comments. Let us know. We definitely want to hear your friendship stories. You can reach me on IG at Deandra.Monique, the podcast at Coffee Hills Convo Pod. Reatha.
And you can find me at Read the Author, ReathaAuthor. You can visit our website at chcpods.com. And don't forget, y'all, subscribe to our podcast on all the platforms that it's available. It's available
Yes.
on every last platform.
Everywhere.
From Apple to Stitcher. It's everywhere.
Yes.
And, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Come on, y'all.
Yeah. So we will talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.